Joe, Phantomaniacs! Welcome to the newest unboxing here on the Needless Things YouTube channel. Today, it is Woman Crush Wednesday, because if ever there was a lady that I had a crush on when I was a very young Phantom, Baroness was her. And I am more than happy to be getting a version of Baroness as she was seen in the original G.I. Joe miniseries. Hasbro did a version of this look in the 25th line. I can't remember if she was in a box set or was a separate release or whatever. I've got her, but the figure is definitely we're going to do those colors, not we're going to do that look. You know what I mean? Like it was repainted parts or whatever. This is tooled to be Baroness as we first saw her in Sunbow, and that's something that I've been wanting for a very long time, so I'm happy to see this. This is our first Cobra agent of the week. We got the awesome Cobra variation of the packaging with the blue camo, although I do wish they had developed the Super 7 Cobra camo in time to get it onto the packaging, because it's a gorgeous camouflage. I absolutely love it. You got the embossed metallic Cobra on the front. And then the G.I. Joe logo still in the background, because of course that is the brand logo. And our slipcover comes off. And look at that, Baroness in all of her evil glory. I love this blue and yellow version. Now don't get me wrong, I understand that the black suited version of Baroness is the most popular, but this, to me, with the blue, the yellow, the green glasses, this is a more toyetic Baroness. So let's open it up and see how the figure looks. Hopefully it'll be a little more together than Lady J. You can see the file card on the back. I'm not going to read it to you guys. You got some images of this version of Baroness from Sunbow. Let's get her out of there. If you watched, I reviewed Lady J earlier on, and the figure definitely had some problems. Flint was overall pretty darn good, and now Baroness, I'm hoping for perfection, because this is the figure that I was most excited about from this wave. Yes, even over Destro, because look, I've got tons of great Destro figures. I do not have a great version of this Baroness. All right, we've got our less important accessory tray, where they put the stuff that didn't quite seem flashy enough to go in the front of the packaging. Man, this is great. Be very careful pulling this stuff out, because these are all soft plastic. You don't want to just yank that head and then rip, a piece off or whatever. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. If these, and look, I hate even talking about stuff like this, because I feel like, I don't know, I feel weird talking about waiting until toys are discounted to buy them. But, Super 7 that's just how things have gone the last year or so. So, what I was going to say, and I paid full price for this one, but what I was trying to make my way around to saying was, this is one of those figures that if it ends up discounted, as many of Super 7's products have over the past year or so, I will buy another one just to display that gas mask head, because that looks awesome. Well, and honestly, you could, depending on how you look at your figures, your G.I. Joe shelf, how thoroughly you're collecting Super 7, and this could really be like a Cobra female technician troop builder body. Like if you get that deep into it, which generally I don't, but I just like that gas mask head and would like to display it. Interesting differences here. All right, let's get those portraits out of there. And now my least favorite part of unboxing modern toys, cutting through these annoying plastic strips. They're terrible. Although these weren't quite as bad as Lady J and Flint's were. I'm just going to leave those strips over there on the side. Okay, Baroness. swivel biceps that I can't quite tell which way they're... Okay, you can actually see here. There's the back of the elbow right there. So that's correct. Got a little yellow paint flake in a couple of spots, but it seems to be coming right off. And it also doesn't seem to be missing any yellow anywhere. So everything looks good there. I like this portrait. The glasses are not removable, which I prefer. I love those glasses. Those green glasses are so cool, so iconic. Really? Oh, look, we've got a little... That's the spot to peg in her... Oh, her holster. Oh, man. Okay. This is great. I am digging this figure. And, you know, even if you don't want to buy a second one or whatever, you've probably got some parts here for a female Cobra Trooper. Maybe. Or one of the female Cobra, like lab techs or whatever they are. This stripe going down her pant leg is actually sculpted and painted. She's got the glossy boots with the heels that I'm a little concerned about high heels most of the time. But they are kind of thick and chunky looking, so maybe they won't be a big problem. Let's see if we can get her to stand up. Okay. All right. Might not be a problem. As with Lady J, that torso joint is looser than most people would probably like it. And, well, and the weird thing about it is this joint doesn't do a whole heck of a lot anyway. I'm, for Super 7, certainly, I am all for just doing away with a mid-torso joint, whether it be an ab crunch or this swivel thing. Well, it's not a swivel. That's not fair because it does have movement other than just turning. But I'm all for just doing away with joints right there, personally. Okay, so everything's moving nicely. She has about the same seated range as Lady J. Close, but not quite. I've got a swivel at the top of the thigh there. Ankles are standard issue, modern action figure ankles. I absolutely love this. Oh, and you get a boot top swivel as well. And give her a nice dominating... Oh, let's see. Can you see? That sort of imperious dominating stance that Baroness has. This is great, man. Like I said, this is an awesome toyetic Baroness, and I really, really dig it. They've done a fantastic job. The hair looks great. The hair is a softer plastic, but it's still going to interfere. Like, you're only going to get so much movement out of that. But, I mean, that's a toy thing. There's not really much you can do about that. Let's stand her off to the side here and take a look at the first alternate portrait, which is probably the one I'm going to put on the shelf. That smiling, wicked look. That is... As a matter of fact, I'm going to put that on right now, because that's just great. Well, I say I'm going to put that on right now. I'm going to put it on if... Oh, there we go. Head swaps are another thing that Super 7 has gotten a little better with figuring out the engineering. Oh, man, that is just fantastic. Look at that. Super 7 has gotten much better about figuring out the engineering on the pegs and everything for the swappable parts on their figures. I don't really tend to have the problems that I used to have anymore. All right. And then we've got one other portrait that is kind of a weird one because she's got the round spectacles. She's got a nice sneering look on her face. I really like that expression. And then she's got like a wash in her hair. I'm honestly, is this a comic book look? Maybe. I'm not positive what this one is supposed to be. I know you guys will tell me in the comments, but it looks, I mean, it's a great portrait. I like it. I don't love the wash in the hair, but like I said, this might be a comic book look. Because she did have that same outfit in the comics initially. And then they changed her over to the black later on. So maybe that's what this is. Tell me if you know for sure. You've got an assortment of hands, which is, of course, a trademark of Super 7 action figures. You've got a interesting grasping hand right here. Oh, it's for the hypodermic needle. Okay, that's fun. Let's see how well I can get that in there. How often in the history of YouTube has anybody said, oh, it's for the hypodermic needle? That's fun. That's a good quote there. Nobody's going to have a problem with that. Look at that. Look at how perfectly that sits. Thumb on the plunger. Oh, that's great. And it's not really an accessory I would necessarily want to put on the shelf, but it looks so good and it's so unique. And that a lot of times is what determines my display. It's not necessarily how cool something is, but it's how many of this do I have already. Because the chances of me putting Baroness up with her standard rifle are not good because I've got so many of that. But this is unique and different. All right. Got our portraits there. Oh, here's technically another portrait with the gas mask. That might also be from the comic. I'm trying to think if it's one of the early issues of the comic where Baroness and a bunch of cobras in disguise. Oh wait, is it the first issue where they kidnap the doctor whose name is escaping me right now? The doctor who hates G.I. Joe. This could well be from that. And that would also explain the wash on the hair if that's supposed to be a comic book look. So that's cool, but this will, well, let's go ahead and try it. Let's try it and see if it fits on easily enough. So that should go that way. That should go across there, and then that goes over her shoulder, and that pops on there. And there you go. We got Baroness with her little oxygen canister ready to kidnap scientists. See, that's a really cool look too, and something different and unique. And you know what? I almost wonder, I don't think they knock the scientist out with a syringe though. I'm not positive, but that syringe could go with this too and just look kind of evil and sinister. So that's awesome. Okay. I'm really, really glad this Baroness is turning out so well so far. Oh, we got to look at the rest of the hands. Okay, so she's got a pointing C-grip hand, trigger finger hand, another pointing C-grip hand, a relaxed sort of clutching hand, two relaxed clutching hands, and then a closed C-grip. So, great assortment of hands to interact with all the accessories that are included. Oh, we get to her holster here, because I'm absolutely going to put that on her, because it just adds another little splash of color and interest to the look. I don't know how easy it's going to be to peg that in there. So if you see, the peg hole has a shape, and the peg has a shape, so it goes in a specific way. It's just a matter of getting it in there. I might heat both up just to get it a little more snug, but there you go. That's how that goes. And then you've got, oh man, I hate this. It's got the pegged little flap. And then she has got a pistol that goes in that holster. Plain gray, but that's fine. Smaller Sunbow item is unlikely to have a whole lot of paint on it. Great sculpt, looks awesome. And then you've got one of the Cobra laser guns from Sunbow. And again, this is how they looked in the show. There was not a lot of painted detail on them. They were just kind of gray. So that's correct. You've got this strap that's interesting. Is that... Oh, okay. So here is a rifle that I'm sure is from something specific. And once again, tell me in those comments. But this is the strap for the rifle, I believe. So this, I don't know how well this is going to work. I got to kind of question this a little bit. Well, okay. So that plugged into there fairly well. Although, should it go on the other side? Because I feel like you'd want it to go sort of through. Oh, but it isn't going to work that way because that's flat. You guys believe me, I know watching me figure out how to put accessories together is not always the most exciting thing in the world. So that that pegs right into there. And that pegs into there. I don't know. I don't know how wild I am about this setup. There is probably a reason why this strap... Well, okay. I guess it works well enough. I'm sure there's a reason why this is removable and what it is and whatever else. I'm not wild about it. The rifle is cool enough, but this does not jump out at me as something that, one, is particularly unique, and two, is something that's cool enough for me to want to put on the shelf for this specific figure. It's cool that it came with it, but got a little dagger here. No sheath for it, so this is strictly a she's going to be holding it item. Nice silver finish, looks good. And then finally, we have kind of the belle of the ball, if you will. Some kind of technological Cobra doodad. It's not the enlarger reducer thing, I don't think, from Cobra Claws is coming to town. It's one of the doodads from the show, and once again, tell me in those comments what this thing is. But it's great, it looks cool, it's a fun accessory, and it's definitely a possibility for the shelf because it is something unique and something that only this figure is going to be holding. Well, this figure, if it is the enlarging, reducing thing, I guess Firefly could also be holding it. Although, does he actually operate it? No, he just stows the Cobra stuff in the wagon. I don't think he actually operates it. So anyway, there's what that is. Let's get we've got to do our closing here, and I don't want to finish with Gas Mask Baroness. That just doesn't seem right. So we're going to put that head back on. This is a great figure. No flaws with this one that I found. So, very thrilled with this one. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about Needless Things. And remember, Cobra.
Smash that like button if you like Needless Things.